Well, the top 5 teams, North Carolina is a runaway #1. Kentucky is second, Maryland third, Kansas fourth, and as always, Duke has to be in there, so they're fifth. Carolina's the runaway #1. They have 4 starters and 9 of their top 10 scorers back from last year's team that went to the Sweet 16. It's a team that last year you could see they were progressing all along, and people really expected to make a run this year, especially with Marcus Page back to run the show. Probably the best pure guard out there this year, and he'll be running the show. And Roy Williams loves to play an up-tempo game, and when you have that deep a team, that's what he's going to be able to do. So he'll be able to run some teams right out of the gym. Yeah, it is. Maryland's a team. They've never been able to get back to the elite level in the ACC, so they moved to the Big Ten now, and it's a little bit different for them, and they're recruiting a different way. They have a star player, Melo Trimble, who's a big-time player, and he'll carry them, but they're going to need their big guys to be tough because the Big Ten's just a tougher, more physical league. But Mark Turgeon, the coach, who's now been there for 5 years, he's got his program in place now, and they're starting to play Big Ten-style basketball, and I think that's better for them, and as long as they have a guy like Trimble, they'll be okay. Well, there are a couple of teams because of what conferences they play in, because they're going to be able to really get something going in their conference. And one is Villanova, who last year was #2 in the final poll. Jay Wright's got his usual 4-guard system that he's going to come at you, and you have to find a way to stop them. So I think they're going to be able to move it up. And Utah, they're in the Pac-12, which is a little bit tougher schedule than they were used to in the Mountain West, but they're coming around that way. They were a really solid team last year. Gave Duke fits in the round of 16. So it's a team that I think once you give them a chance and let them get into the Pac-12, they're going to be pretty good. And then another team to look at because of their conference is Connecticut. And last year wasn't a typical Connecticut year. They struggled a little bit, but they recruited some guards to replace the guys who have left. Ryan Boatwright, who's now in the NBA. And I think with being in the American Athletic Conference and with SMU facing the penalties they are, and they won't be eligible, UConn's going to be able to pretty much run that conference.